Hindu newspaper dated September 1, 2023. Displayed here are the list of news articles that we will be discussing today. You can go through it at the end of the video. You will also have the prelims practice question discussion, so try to watch the entire video. And a kind request to you all, those who haven't yet subscribed to our channel, do subscribe and hit the bell icon button so that you will get a regular notifications about our current affairs videos. Now let us get into our first news article discussion. Look at this news article. Here the news is that Assam-based surgical oncologist Mr. Ravi Kannan has won the Ramon Magsaysay Award for 2023. Mr. Ravi is currently posted as Director of Kachar Cancer Hospital and the Research Center in Assam. He won the award for his revolutionizing cancer treatment in Assam through people-centric and pro-poor healthcare. This is all about the news. Now in this background, let us understand few facts about Ramon Magsaysay Award for prelims perspective. Now first let us see a few points about Ramon Magsaysay. He was born in September He was born on August 31, 1907. He was the 7th president of Philippines, served as the president of Philippines from 1953 until his death in the air crash in 1957. The president Magsaysay was known for his service to poor people and good governance, and he was one of the most outstanding global leaders of this time. After his demise in 1957, the Ramon Magsaysay Award was set up by the trustees of Rockefeller Brothers Fund and Philippines government. The main aim of the was to carry forward Max's legacy of services to poor people and good governance. Note that the award was given for first time in 1958. Since then, over 300 organizations and individuals have been recognized, awarded for their developmental works. Let us see few facts about award. See, the award is announced every year on August 31st, that is on the birth anniversary of Ramon Magsaysay. The Ramon Magsaysay Award is presented in formal ceremonies that usually held in Manila, Philippines. Now, who select the award is the award are selected from the Board of Trustees of Ramon Magsaysay Award Foundation. Nowadays are presented with a certificate and medallion with an image of Ramon Magsaysay facing right in the profile. Okay. Now, what is the eligibility to get Ramon Magsaysay Award? The Ramon Magsaysay Award was considered to honor the distinguishable services done by a person to the people of Asia regardless of race, gender or religion. So the Asian who have shown excellence in their chosen field and who are known for their selfless services to others without seeking public acknowledgement is the only eligibility to get a Ramon Magsaysay Award. Since 1958 to 2008, the award was given in 6 categories annually. See, the 6 categories are displayed here. You can go through it among 6 categories. The category of emergent leadership was inaugurated in 2000. And it is supported by a grant from the Ford Foundation. The Emergent Leadership Award recognition individual who is 40 years of age or for their outstanding work on social change issues in their community, and those whose leadership is yet to widely recognized outside of that community. To put it simply, an individual who is 40 years of age or other who is yet to recognized for his outstanding work or on social change issues will be conferred with an Emergent Leadership Award. Okay. Note that from 2009, Ramon Magsaysay Award is no longer given in a fixed award category except for emergent leadership. This means that as of now, the award has no fixed categories except the category of emergent leadership. Okay. This is all about Ramon Magsaysay Award. See, the award winners of 2023 are displayed here. You can go through it, and that's all regarding the discussion. This discussion is various aspects of Ramon Magsaysay Award. See, this topic is very important for your prelims per exam. So note each and every points that we discussed. With these points in mind, let us move on into the next news article discussion. Look at this editorial article. This article is speaking about ongoing tussle between India and China. So in this discussion, we will look at the background of the issues and then we will see the points mentioned in the editorial. In addition to this, we will cover the major aspect of India-China relationship. Now, before getting into the discussion, the syllabus regarding this discussion is highlighted here. You can go through it, and now first let us look at the background of the ongoing issue between India and China. See, recently China released a new map. This new map showed the entire state of Arunachal Pradesh, Dakshin region, and the South China Sea as Chinese territory. See, this map not just angered India, it also angered other countries like Malaysia and Philippines. See, the Chinese map made no new additional claims. This is because China already claims Arunachal Pradesh, Akshay Chin and South China Sea as an integral part of China. But issuing a new map while the territorial dispute is ongoing will only further complicate the issues rather than resolving the issues. So the release of the new map is the reason for ongoing tussle between India and China. This is the background of the news issue. See, the editorial gives some insight about the ongoing relationship between India and China. According to the editorial, the trust level between India and China is at an all-time low. Editorial substantiates this claim by highlighting this Chinese aggressive military mobilization on the line of actual control and why is China embracing its troops. See, India since 2017 has been more assertive over its claim in accession. So, to counter India's assertiveness, China is mobilizing its troops along the line of actual control. See, the editorial also provides a solution to repair the ties between India and China. According to the editorial, India and China, instead of relying only on the high-level interventions, they should rebuild their relationship from scratch, using a greater mutual sensitivity, and this will provide long-term solutions to the problems. Okay, this is all about the editorial now. Moving forward, let us discuss various aspects of India-China relationship. Now, let us first take areas of cooperation. See, the areas of cooperation between India and China can be further divided into political, economic and cultural spheres. Now, first let us see about the political relations. Although India-China political relations faced some hiccups on the whole, the political relationship has been quite peaceful. And see, on April 1, 1950, India became the first non-socialist bloc to establish diplomatic relations with the People's Republic of China. The 1962 India-China War was a major setback in India-China relations from 1960s to 1980s. The relationship between India-China was still sore in the bilateral relations started improving after Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi's landmark visit to China in 1988. Then in 1993, India-China signed an agreement on the maintenance of peace and tranquility along the line of actual control on the India-China border areas. This agreement ensured the stability in the India-China relations. See, in the past decade, India-China political relationship has diversified. In 2014, during the visit of President Xi Jinping to India, the two sides upgraded their relationship closer developmental partnership. Then the next major development in bilateral relations came in 2018. In 2018, the first informal summit was held in Wuhan. In this summit, Mr. Izzat and Mr. Modi agreed to enhance their relationship, and they also vote to use established mechanism to bring down the tensions along the India-China border. Then in 2019, second informal summit between Prime Minister Modi and President Xi was held in Chennai. In this summit, both the leaders discussed the steps that can be taken to further deepen the India-China bilateral interactions to reflect the growing role of both the countries on the global stage. In addition to this, leaders of China and India have held many high-level interactions on the sidelines of bilateral firms like BRICS, SCO and G20 summits. This is all about the political relationship between India and China. Now let us look at the trade relations. See, China is India's second largest trading partner as of 2019. India was the 12th largest trading partner of China. This shows the strong economic ties between both the countries. In addition to trade, various Chinese multinational companies have set up operations in India, and Indian MNCs also have set up operations in China. Apart from this, both the countries have established institutionalized mechanisms like joint economic group and strategic economic dialogue. See, the joint economic group is led by commerce ministers of both the sides, and the strategic economic dialogue is led by the vice chairman of Niti Aayog and chairman of National Development and Reforms Commission of China. See, these mechanisms helps to take the economic relations of both the countries to the greater heights. This is all about the economic relations between the India and China. Now let us look at the cultural ties. Exchanges dates back to many centuries. There is some evidences that linguistic exchanges existed in 1500 to 1000 BC. This is between Chang Joho civilization and the ancient Vedic civilization. Apart from this, during the 1st, 2nd and 3rd century AD, several Buddhist pilgrims and scholars traveled to China on the historic Silk Road. Similarly, the Chinese pilgrims also undertook journeys to India, the most famous among them being a foreign relationship extended to recent times as well. To mark this relationship, India constructed a Buddhist temple in Lyon, in Henan province. Okay, apart from this, success of Bollywood movies and the increasing popularity of yoga in China also signifies the strong cultural ties between both the India and China. Okay, this is all about the cultural relationship between India and China. Having seen the areas of cooperation between India and China, now let us see the strains in the bilateral relations. See, the strains or challenges can be subdivided into political, geopolitical and economical. Now first let us take the challenges in the political sphere. First major challenge, border disputes. See, the unresolved border issues, particularly in regions like Ladakh and Arunachal Pradesh, have led to the periodic military tensions between India and China. So this is a potential source of conflict. For example, 2017 Doklam standoff, then 2020 Galwan clash, and issue of stapled visas provided to the people of Arunachal Pradesh are all result of border disputes. Okay, so border dispute is the first major challenge. The border disputes have resulted in an increase in the mutual distrust between the two nations. This mutual distrust has given rise to an increase in the cyber attacks and cyber espionage. Okay, this is all about the challenges in the political spheres. Now moving on to say about the challenges in the geopolitical sphere. See, all the challenges in the geopolitical sphere are access from the geopolitical rivalry between the two nations. Now first let us take the Indian Ocean. See, both the India and China are trying to extend their influence in the Indian Ocean. Increasing Chinese naval presence in the Indian Ocean has worried in the recent times. So this is the one of the reasons for growing mistrust between the two countries. Then the next challenge is competition for regional influence. India traditionally had an influence over its neighbor countries like Nepal and Bhutan and Sri Lanka, but China is using its economic power to try and bring these nations closer to China. So this is a major concern for India. These nations acted as a buffer for India. Okay, so the competition for regional influence is the next major challenge. Then the next challenge is China preventing the entry of India into the United Nations Security Council and the nuclear supplier group NSG. Lastly, the recent developments like Quad and India's growing affinity towards the US is worried China. Okay, so all these geopolitical developments have strained the relationship between the India and China. Now finally let us see the challenges in the economical sphere. First challenge is the growing trade deficit. India is having a huge negative trade deficit with China. This deficit is constantly growing, and the growth of the trade deficit with China could be contributed to two factors. One is easy access to Chinese imports in India, and next one is restricted market access to Indian products like agriculture products, pharmaceuticals and IT sector in China. So the rising trade deficit has also strained the relationship between India and China. The next challenge is very low bilateral investment. Although trade volume between India and China has continued to grow, the bilateral investment between the nations have been very stagnant according to the Ministry of Commerce of China. Cumulative Chinese investment in India till the September of 2019 accounted to only 5.08 billion US dollar. Indian investment in China until September 2019 is 0.52 billion US dollar. This is the next major challenge. The low bilateral investment is a reflection of major distance between the two nations. The last major challenge regarding the Chinese Belt and Road Initiative is China has expressed concerns about the China's Belt and Road Initiative, which involves infrastructure projects in India's neighboring countries. India views some of these projects as infringing on its sovereignty. India has also voiced its concerns about Belt and Road Initiative in various forms. Okay, so these are some of the challenges in the India-China relations in the economic sphere. Now, how can these sellers can be addressed? Firstly, as like editorial mentioned, the future of India-China relations must build on a mutual respect for sovereignty and greater mutual sensitivity than to resolve the borrowed disputes. A diplomatic route must be taken. That is, a high-level talks and regular diplomatic exchanges can help in understanding each other's concerns and finding common ground. In addition to this, conference building measures along the border can be done to prevent the escalation of border disputes into military confrontation. Then, to resolve the issues trade deficit, China must grant market assist to Indian products like pharmaceuticals, agri products, and IT services. India can also reduce its dependence on Chinese imports by proactively engaging with Asian countries, and finally, both the nations can explore a track to diplomacy to resolve the disputes here. Track to diplomacy refers to unofficial, informal, and non-governmental efforts to facilitate dialogue and to solve problems in international relations. See, the Oslo occurs in 1993. Is an example of track to diplomacy. So options like this can be explored to bring out the long-lasting peace between India and China. That's our discussion. This discussion is about recent ongoing tussle between India and China. Then we saw about the areas of cooperation between India and China. News about challenges in India-China relationship. Finally, we saw about some points about how challenges in India-China relations can be addressed. See, this topic is very much important for your mains exam. You can use all the points in your mains exam. Now, these points in mind, let us move on into the next news article discussion. Look at this news article. The news is about discovery of seasonal habitation of prehistoric man in Khajaguda near Hyderabad. See, while conducting service, have spotted 4 places that are having groups here. Gross means long, narrow cut in the hard surface like rock that were made using hot tools. The archaeologist observed that the groups in Khajaguda were formed out of grinding and polishing of stone accessed during Neolithic period, and they have eroded this conclusion because the groups are located close to natural rock shelters used by Neolithic people as a seasonal campsite. So they confirmed that grooves are formed during Neolithic period, that is around 2000 BC. This is the discovery significant because it pushes back the history of Hyderabad to prehistoric times. Okay, and this is all about the news. Now in this discussion we will learn some facts about Neolithic culture. Now first let us see the time span of Neolithic culture. Generally, the period before the invention of script is broadly divided into Stone Age, Bronze Age, and New Stone Age. Its classification is based on the materials used by the peoples during those periods. Now, particularly talking about the Stone Age, see the year, the list, Stone Age in the history is called Old Stone Age or Paleolithic Age. And the period after the Old Stone Age is called Mesolithic Age. And the period that followed the Mesolithic Age is called Neolithic Age or New Stone Age. So, we can say that Neolithic period is the last stage of the Stone Age. See, in India, the Neolithic culture lasted for around 6000 BC to 2000 BC. Okay, it's all about this time span of Neolithic culture. Now, let us see the major characteristics of Neolithic culture in India. Seniority culture is significant because it marked the spread of agriculture, animal husbandry, and human settlements. It indicates the transformation of society from food gathering economy to food producing economy. Now, talking about the agriculture carried out by Neolithic age. People see the people of Neolithic age cultivated ragi, horse gram, cotton, rice, wheat, and barley. The Neolithic people were termed as the first food producers. Apart from this, they also domesticated cattle, sheep, and goats. Okay. Now, talking about the tools used by Neolithic people. See, the Neolithic people used tools made of stones, and they were finely polished. Stone axes were primarily used in the Neolithic age. They also used tools for agricultural activities which were carried out in the fertile soil deposited by the rivers. Okay, now talking about the pottery, Neolithic people were forced to invent pottery. The part if the period was classified as grey where a black burnished via a matte impressed via. Okay, now coming to the settlements of Neolithic people created a permanent houses using mud bricks. As a result of these development, the hunters and gatherers began to settle in a particular place. Note that the people of Neolithic age did not have knowledge about the metals. Okay, it is important to note that Neolithic culture India was not uniform but varied across different regions due to ecological, climatic, and cultural factors. As a result, there were multiple Neolithic cultures and subcultures in different parts of the Indian subcontinent. Now, let us see the important sites of Neolithic culture. Distributed across India, now first we look at the Neolithic cultures of northwestern India. See, the Neolithic sites in northwest India have the earliest evidences of plant and animal domestication in India. Some of the important sites in the region include Megharana, Gunde, Sare, Kala, Kaljni. Okay, next we look at the Neolithic cultures of Kashmir. Neolithic culture in Kashmir was contemporary to Indus civilization. Valley civilization. Wazon is an important site of Kashmir Neolithic culture. In this site, one peculiar feature is that the domestic dogs were buried with its master. They also used handmade potteries. Okay. Now moving on, we will look at the Neolithic cultures of Ganges Valley and central India. The important site of this region includes Lehura Deva and Chopani Munda Deva was evidence for the cultivation of rice which dates back to 6500 BCE. People of this region used pottery with a card impression on the surfaces. Okay. Now next we look at the Neolithic culture of South India. See, the Neolithic centers of South India are concentrated in the Andhra Pradesh. Northwestern part of Tamil Nadu. Some of the important Neolithic sites of this region are Vattakkal and Haldron, Karnataka. Original ramp. Okay. See, one unique feature of this region is the ash mount were found in the center of the settlement. Okay. Finally, we shall see about the Neolithic culture of the northeastern India. See, the northeastern India and Neolithic culture appears very late, that is around 2500 to 1500 BCE. Of the important sites of this region include Dajoli Heading and Satura in Assam. Evidence for shifting cultivation and stone and wooden memorials were built for the dead. Various Neolithic sites in different across India over the Neolithic cultures were significant because they lead to the development of advanced civilizations such as Indus Valley civilization and Vedic period cultures. Okay, that is all regarding this discussion. In this discussion, we saw about the time span of Neolithic culture and various characteristics of Neolithic culture, and finally we saw the important sites of Neolithic culture across India. See, this topic is very much important for your prelims exam, so make a note of each and every topics that we discussed. Now, with these points in mind, let us move on into the next news article. Look at this news article. This is from Science page. Earlier this month, the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Health and Family Welfare tabled its 140th report in the Parliament. The report is titled Mental Health Care and its Management in the Contemporary Times. So it is based on this report only. The article here is written. This article highlights some of the important points from the report. So in our discussion today, we will learn all the points provided in the news article. Now first let us look at the definition of mental health as given by the report. According to the report, mental health refers to a state of well-being that enables the people to cope up with the stress of life. Now I will explain to you in better way with an example. Now let us imagine someone named Ibrahim is usually happy and he is able to bounce back from the setbacks. He also talks about his feelings with friends and family when needed. Ibrahim also knows how to relax when he is stressed. Apart from this, Ibrahim also take care of himself in a positive way when he is relaxed. So if Ibrahim is able to do all these activities, then according to the report, he is mentally healthy. In contrast to a mentally ill person, someone who experiences difficulty with their thoughts, emotions or behaviors. See, the people with mental illness mostly have a negative view on life. They have bad motivating mechanism when they feel stressed, like isolation, aggression, procrastination and self-form. Okay, all these points we can observe that having a mentally healthy population is important for any country, because mental health is indirectly linked to the economy. See, people with poor mental health have diminished well-being and poor productivity. For example, in 2010, economic losses of around 2.5 trillion US dollar annually were attributed to poor mental health, and it is estimated that by 2030, economic losses due to poor mental health might increases to 6 trillion US dollar annually. Okay, so addressing mental health issues of the population is important for all the countries, particularly India, which is aiming to becoming an economic superpower. See, to make population mentally healthy, we must first identify the challenges. So now let us look at the challenges highlighted in the 140th report on mental health care and its management in the contemporary times. The first challenge is lack of trained professionals. See, India currently has only 9,000 psychiatrists. That is only 0.75 psychiatrists per lakh people. This is significantly low considering the fact that 15% of adults in India are in need of mental health interventions, according to the National Mental Health Survey, which was conducted in 2015-16. See, according to the World Health Organization, a desirable number is anything above 3 psychiatrists per lakh people. So to have a minimum of 3 psychiatrists per people in our need an additional 20,000 more psychiatrists. Okay, see it the relation. See, to orders the shortage, the report has suggested an increase in the number of seats for MD psychiatric courses also to address the shortage in the mental health workers like psychologists, psychiatric social workers and nurses. The report suggested formulating short-term training courses. Okay, this is about the first challenge and solution to such challenge. And the next challenge is lack of funding. See, the total budget estimated for the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare is around rupees 89,155 crore. Of this, only rupees 919 crore is allocated for mental health. So the lack of proper funding results in inability to create a proper infrastructure and proper research in areas of mental health. Here the report suggests an increase in the funding for mental health. In addition to this, the report suggested using evidence-based interventions for developing infrastructures and other policies around mental health. Okay, this is the second challenge. Then the third challenge is issues of treatment gap. Here the treatment gap is nothing but the inability to treat every mentally ill person. See, to order the treatment gap, the report gives us 3 suggestions. First suggestion is using the existing wellness clinics to treat the patients with the mental health issues. Then the second suggestion is using the telemedicine to address the treatment gap, and this final suggestion is revamping the district mental health program to address the treatment gap. Okay, so these are all the 3 suggestions that can be taken to address the treatment gap. Okay, this is all about the third issues. And last challenge is issue of stigma around the mental health. Issues that is people fears about the society when they have mental health issues. So the report here suggests creating public awareness using the National Mental Program will help to address the issues of stigma around the mental health issues. Okay, so these are the some of the highlights from 148 report on mental health care and its management in contemporary times. And note that this report is submitted by the Standing Committee on Health and Family Welfare in the Parliament. Okay, now with these points in mind, let us move on into the next news article discussion. Look at this news article. Yesterday, the Supreme Court decided to examine the enforcement of regulations on the sale of green crackers. Supreme Court also scheduled the hearing on September 13 to study the protocol to implement the regulations or restrictions on the sale of green crackers. This is the crux of the news article. Given here now, with this context, let us see some points about green crackers. Types, and now let us look at the crackers. See, the green crackers are fireworks that are healthy to environment. This is because green crackers can lessen the air pollution rather than causing high air pollution like that of conventional crackers. These green crackers are designed by the NEERI, this is a National Environmental and Engineering Research Institute. Note that the nearest instead of CASR, now coming back to green crackers. See, some of the green crackers designed by the NEED includes flower pots of the chakras and so on, pencil bombs and so on. These green crackers are made from alternative raw material to have a smaller negative impact on the environment. To minimize the health hazards, it is said that the green crackers are environmentally friendly because they do not contain some harmful pollutants like aluminium, barium, potassium, nitrate or carbon. Now coming to the question, are green crackers totally pollution free? The answer to the question is no. See, the green crackers can also cause air pollution, but the main advantage is that green crackers are 30% less polluting than conventional crackers. This is because the green crackers have less or no barium that causes smoke and emissions. In addition to lowering air pollution, the green crackers are also said to have a lower sound level than the conventional crackers. See, the sound coming from green crackers ranges between 110 to 125 decibels, whereas the sound made by conventional crackers are roughly 160 decibels. So, less sound is also another advantage of green crackers. See, despite all these benefits, these environment-friendly green firecrackers are more expensive than conventional crackers. So, this is one challenge that hinders the promotion of using green crackers. Now, moving on to say about the types of green crackers. Presently, there are 3 brands of green crackers available in the market. You will see them one by one. First one is safe water releaser, that is SWR. These crackers do not use sulfur or potassium nitrate. Instead, they are made in a way that they release the water vapor into atmosphere when it gets burst, so this will lessen the discharge dust in the atmosphere. Apart from this, these crackers also deploy the use of diluents. By using diluents, the green crackers can control particulate matter emission by up to 30%. Okay, this is about the first type, that is safe water releaser. Then second type is star, that is safe there milk cracker, that just like safe water releaser. The star also does not contain sulfur and potassium nitrate. These crackers controls the particulate dust emission, and it also has a low sound intensity. Apart from this type of crackers also discharge less particulate matter into the atmosphere. Okay, this is all about the second type, that is safe cracker. The final type is a SFL. This is a safe minimal aluminium. These type of crackers, the aluminium content is replaced with the magnesium. So these crackers produces a reduced level of pollutants. Okay, this is all about the type of green crackers that are presently available in the market. See, currently all these 3 brands of green crackers can be only produced by licensed manufacturers that are approved by the CSIR. Note that the Petroleum and Explosive Safety Organization, that is PESO, is tasked with the certification of green crackers. The organization certifies that the crackers are made without arsenic, mercury and barium and are allowed beyond a certain threshold. Okay, now how we can identify the green crackers? See, green crackers are differentiated from conventional crackers by a logo on color. The green crackers have a green logo printed on their boxes. Apart from this, they also have QR coding system. By scanning the QR, we can verify whether it is a green cracker or not. Okay, that is all regarding the discussion. In this discussion, we saw various aspects of green cracker, its types, Now with these points in mind, let us move on into the next news article discussion. Look at this news article here. Yesterday, Bureau of Indian Standards, that is BIS, conducted a meeting in Chennai. The meeting was attended by various stakeholders including manufacturers of the Ayurveda drug and representatives from several educational institutions. In this meeting, the BIS brought out some standards that have been followed in manufacturing equipments under the traditional medicines used in the Ayurvedic therapies. This is to ensure the quality and streamline in the Ayurveda industry. See, many people lack awareness on standards related to equipment and medicines used in Ayurveda procedures and treatments. Since the traditional treatment centers are becoming popular, today it is necessary to bring standards to safeguard the patient's well-being, and this is why the standard has been announced by the BIS. Okay, this is all about the news. Now with this in this background, let us quickly go through the Bureau of Indian Standard from prelims perspective. Severe of the standard, national standard, Indian standard is the national standard body of India. It is a statutory body established under the Bureau of Indian Standards Act 1986. Note that this act was replaced with the BIS Act 2006. So as of now, the Bureau of Indian Standards is governed by the BIS Act 2016. BIS is functioning under the Union Ministry of Commerce, Consumer Affairs and Food and Public Distribution. Note that the predecessor of BIS was a years tall Indian Standard Institution. See, all the functions of S12 Indian Standard Institutions were transferred to BIS. Okay. See, the BIS was set up to carry out various activities of standardization, marking and quality certification of the goods. Here the term standardization refers to the process of creating standards to guide the creation of goods or a service. Okay. Now coming to the functions of Bureau of Indian Standards, the main function of BIS involves the standardization and certification of goods, articles, processes, systems and services. Apart from this, the BIS also formulates the Indian standard, which covers the important segments of the economy. This standard helps the industry in upgrading the quality of their goods and services. Apart from this, the standard also help in promoting the standardization of the goods and services present inside our economy. Okay, this is all about the functions of the Bureau of Indian Standards, and that is all regarding this discussion. In this discussion, we saw about various aspects of Bureau of Indian Standards. Now with this points in mind, let us move on into the next part of the video discussion, that is to discuss the preliminary practice questions. Today we having four I will solve three of them. One will be a quiz question for you. Look at the first question. This question is regarding the green crackers. Here three statements are given. You have to find how many of the statements are correct. Look at the first statements. Green cracker release water vapor and don't allow the dust particle to rise. See, this table is correct. Statement is correct. The green crackers are designed to have 30% less particulate matter, so pollution, and they release the water vapor and it don't allow the dust particle to rise. So first statement is correct, and now coming to the second statement, they are produced using a barium nitrate as an alternative for the banned chemical zeolite. The statement is incorrect. The Supreme Court had banned the barium nitrate, which is an important raw material for producing crackers. Therefore, the CSIR NERI choose to use potassium nitrate and zeolite instead of barium nitrate. So second statement is incorrect. Now coming to the third statement, green crackers are completely pollution free. Since this statement is incorrect, because the green crackers are not completely pollution free, but they are 30% less polluting than conventional firecrackers. So third statement is incorrect. Here only first statement is correct. So the correct answer is option A, only one. Moving to, let us take the second question. Here a particular initiative given. We have to find the description. Describes which of these given four initiatives. Now we will see the description. Initiative. Ministry of Education aimed to provide psychosocial support to students, family members and teachers for their mental health and well-being during the times of COVID-19 pandemic. This text is related to which below mentioned government initiative? Option A, Kiran Helpline Initiative. Option C, Manas mobile app, and option D, Ra app. The option correct answer is Manodarpan initiative. It is aimed to provide a psychosocial support to the students, family members and teachers for their mental health well-being during the COVID-19 pandemic. So the correct answer is option B. Now we will also look at other initiatives. Now coming to the Kiran Helpline. See, Kiran Helpline is 24/7 toll-free helpline launched by Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. This helpline provides support to people who facing anxiety, stress, depression, suicidal thoughts and other mental health concerns. Okay, coming to the Manas mobile app. Here Manas stands for Mental Health and Normalcy Augmentation System. It is a national digital well-being platform. This mobile app has been developed to promote the mental well-being of Indian citizens. Okay, now coming to the Ra app. It is a mobile application that provides free information to the public on mental health care professionals and mental health care centers. Okay, now moving on to the next question. See, this question is regarding Bureau of Indian Standards. Here 3 statements are given. We have to find the we have to find the correct answer. The voluntary organization responsible for promoting industry growth without any regulatory authority. CBS is an statutory body, not a voluntary organization. It is regulatory authority in certain sectors. So the statement 1 is correct. Coming to the second statement, it formulates a standard only for manufacturing sector and does not cover the service sector. Statement is incorrect because the BIS formulates standards for a wide range of products including services. So second statement is incorrect. Now coming to the third statement, it grants a certification by conducting a testing or inspection. Since the statement is correct, the base conducting testing inspection as a part of its conformity assessment procedure, and based assessment it grants certification to the products or services. So third statement is correct. Here only one statement is correct. So the correct answer for the question is option A, only one. This is a quiz question for you today. Post your answers in the comment section. Try to answer it in the comment section and you can verify the answers. Displayed here are the mains question for your practice. So go through the questions and write your answers. Post it in the comment section. With this we have come to the end of the video. If you found our video to be useful, please like, comment and share with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel UPSC IAS. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.